Thanks, Lascan Corley. The bill before us is very important and some welcome measures in it, but rents continue to rise, and figures released by DAFT recently highlight that rents continue to escalate massively in Laois Offaly. Despite COVID, in Laois, rents went up by 3.4% in the last 12 months, while in Offaly they shot up by 6.6%. Now, this comes on top of 5 years of skyrocketing increases during that previous 5 years, Minister. Sinn Féin does welcome the decision by government today to extend the emergency eviction ban until 2022. However, this ban should be extended to all renters, not just those that fall within the limited definition put forward by the Minister. Just 475 renters have been able to avail of the government's COVID-19 rent protections, despite 3,800 being in rent arrears. The current legislation is simply not working. It's important that we recognise that we are all facing into a period of economic uncertainty before the economy recovers fully and people get back to work in a full way. Renters who work in the hospitality sector, for example, Minister, they face a very uncertain period, with many facing reducing hours and very, very precarious days as well in terms of the amount of work available to them. Until then, we need to provide protection for renters across the board who have been put in this precarious situation through no fault of their own. Sinn Féin has submitted an amendment to the bill to deal with the issue of some tenants facing an increase in the region of 8% due to a loophole in the legislation. These concerns have been raised with me by constituents, even in the rent pressure zones, who expect many landlords to take advantage of the loophole in the legislation, which currently allows them to increase it by 8% following the rent freeze during COVID. Only 3 municipal districts in Laois Offaly are designated rent pressure zones, Minister. The Port Laois district, the Port Ardington Grey Cullen district, and the Tullamore municipal district in Offaly. Mount Mellick Borrisnostry district in Laois and Eden Derry and Burr municipal districts in Offaly are not covered. In these areas, it's the Wild West. Landlords are free to raise rents any way they wish, and that is no way to run a housing situation in this country. What's required is an emergency 3-year rent freeze to stop rents escalating further and to ease the huge pressure on low-paid workers who are renting. Many families, particularly those in precarious employment situations, will simply not be able to meet significant increases, and this can and should be dealt with as part of this legislation. I appeal to the government parties, Fianna Fáil, Fine Gael and the Greens, to accept our amendment. And just on a final note, supply, we need more supply, and everybody knows that. And that's not, supporting the nonsense that Leo was coming out with last week about it's going to magic up 40,000. But we do need to increase supply. But increased supply doesn't automatically translate into reduced rents or in reduced house prices. Don't believe me, go back to 2006 when we built over 90,000 houses, rents shot up and the price of houses shot up.
Deputy, we're over time. Thanks very much.
Thank you.